Okay, so I wanted to come up with an easier way of using the universal cutting templates that I offer that you can actually purchase and download, and I actually do have a free sample on my website at paperbeadcrafts.com. And this is the traditional way that you would use it. You'd have this big sheet of paper that you print out, and it has all of these templates on it, and you cut them into strips like these right here. And I just printed these out on plain old copy paper. And traditionally what I would do is I would put these strips on the top and bottom and I would use glue stick to apply it, just like this. I'm going to use this because the glue stick kind of makes a mess. And I like to layer my papers like I do with my other cutting templates, but since this is a marking template, this is the way I would do it, is I would get a piece of paper towel, put it underneath, and I would get my strip of marking template and also put that on here, get this ready to figure out where I'm going to put it. Then I'd lay it down flat on my paper towel, because like I said, glue stick gets messy. And then I would put 2 swipes of the glue stick down the paper towel, and then I would line this up either side and put my strip on this piece of paper at the top and bottom, just like this. And it gets kind of messy. You're constantly cleaning up your fingers. And then, let's see, to figure out which side you start on the other side, you see where you've ended, which is over here at the 5/8 inch, and then I'm going to go here. Start with the smaller end, which is like right here. So I'm going to put that on the top here. So repeat the process. I put 2 swipes of the glue stick on there, and it's really sticky to do that. And so I just lay that on the top, and you can continue to do that if you want to. I mean, it works just fine. And then you lay, yeah, it gets sticky, like I said. Then you lay your 2 pieces of paper together and clip them on the opposite side of where you're going to start cutting to keep them together while you cut them apart, just like that. And then you cut them with a guillotine cutter or a rotary cutter and cutting mat like I use. You can also use the guillotine cutter, and basically you cut from line to line, from mark to mark at the top. But the thing is sometimes when you take off this paper, you end up with some of the paper coming off with it. That's okay, it's going to get rolled up, you're not going to see it. So it's always recommended that you put your marking strips on the back side of your paper. So that way, if you do take some of the paper off, it's not going to show when you roll up it to make it a bead. But the glue stick I find is messy. It works fine, but it is messy. And if you want to eliminate the paper towel, I've done 3 tests to see which other method would work better. I actually have one that I did ahead of time here, and this one was a spray adhesive, and all I did is this back side is freezer paper, available in any supermarket. Parchment paper would probably work too, but freezer paper works great for this. You spray the back of your copy paper that's been printed with your templates with the spray adhesive and put it on the shiny side of your freezer paper and seal it down. And you can store it in a folder. And then when you go ahead and put the strips on the top and the bottom like this, this is, you know, the 12 by 12. That's why it's a universal, because it works with any size paper. So you put your strips on the top and bottom after cutting them apart, just like I showed you with the first one. And the real test is after you've cut your paper into strips, you want to take off these little pieces of paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now. And see, that's why I want to make sure that you put the paper on the back side of your colorful paper, because you could tear off some of the paper, but that's not going to show. And this is the only waste that you have, is these little teeny tiny pieces. And so I'm going to go ahead and take it off this bottom piece And then this one here. And this one was spray adhesive. I believe I used Elmer's for this. I think any spray adhesive will work. Just follow the directions on the can. And spray adhesive works good. But you know, if your lungs are sensitive, if you have any colds, allergies, or whatever, you might want to make sure you wear a mask or do it in a well-ventilated area. Because it can be very fumy, and I covered my mouth and my nose while I sprayed it, and walked out of the room for a few minutes after I was done spraying, after I put it together. I try to use the spray glue as minimal as possible because it's not good if it gets into your lungs. Okay, so the spray adhesive, it works okay. It works fast. If that's what you got, go for it. It works good. Another test that I did is I actually did use glue stick again, but in a different way. And what I did this time with the glue stick is I put the glue stick on the back side of the whole sheet of paper, the whole thing, and then put it on the freezer paper again. I put it on the back side of the freezer paper. This works okay. The paper does stick to your sheets because I put it on the top and bottom. This is a 6x6. I just happen to like the print. It's pretty. So then I put it on the back side, and I've cut a couple of sample of strips, and it comes right off. It comes right off really, really clean, and it stays on long enough. See, I took a little bit of the paper off with it, but that's not going to show because it's on the back side. And but it does come off clean because the glue stick does dry up. It works pretty good. But it's kind of messy to put on the paper again. And here's another sample. And it comes off fairly clean. Look at that. And then I'm going to pull off this one. And that works pretty good. And when you layer your papers, you only have to remove the little teeny tiny papers from your top layer. So if you want to make a whole bunch of the same thing, like I did 3 copies of the 6x6 paper, and so I'll be working on rolling those tonight. So glue stick works. Put it all over your paper, flip it over and put it on your freezer paper, and then trim the freezer paper to your copy paper. That works great. Okay, so the third test that I did, and the final test that I did, is to save the glue stick step, and to save the freezer paper step, and to save the spray adhesive stuff and step. I went ahead and I actually happen to have full sheet sticker paper because I use it all the time for my labels and such, so I keep it on stock. And so I just went ahead and printed it out on my sticker paper. I buy the full sheet type, and the back side, it's Digi Orange. It works really pretty good. It's the only brand that I'll buy, but Avery makes it, and I'm sure you can get it other brands too, but I happen to like this. So I just went ahead and actually printed it on, and then I decided to do calendar pages. And so I stuck it on the top and the bottom of my calendar page, and here's the test for how it pulls off. Let's see how clean it is. Believe it or not, I haven't tested this one yet. So far the glue stick seems to work the best for coming off without tearing. But here's the sticker paper, and this is glossy paper, it's not copy paper. And boy, that comes off clean. Not sure how it's going to come off of scrapbook paper or any papers that are not that are not glossy and slick, but this works perfect for glossy papers. So it'll probably work good for wallpapers and such. And wow, that comes off clean. Okay, and let's tear it off the other one. And these have been sitting for probably an hour. So this is a pretty good test. So to save yourself a lot of time and a lot of aggravation, you know what? If you can get the full sheet sticker paper, go for it. Use that, because that works great. If I remember correctly, I have tried sticker paper on regular paper in other applications, not paper beads, and it did take some of the paper off, but again, put it on the back side, it won't show. And if you're really worried about it, you can always snip the end off. It's not that much of a waste. And there you go. There's the test, the universal cutting templates. They're available on my website at paperbeadcrafts.com. You can purchase and pay for them through Etsy in bundles. And in the future, I will make them available individually that you can pay for them through PayPal and download them from Payloads. And also, if you become a premium gold member or silver member, you'll have access to all of them that I have to offer for free included in your membership. And you do that at paperbeadcrafts.com, become a member. There's a $30 level where you only have access to the bead designer, and then if you become a silver or gold member, you'll have access to all of the free downloads, all the projects, all the bead sheets, and all the cutting templates that I have to offer. And if you become a gold member and you don't already have your paper bead rollers, included with that particular membership, you get 5 slotted paper bead rollers, the 5 sizes that I offer. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and if you want to hear more about any paper bead making, just go to paperbeadcrafts.com. Thank you, and have a great day. Goodbye.